Today we're going to go a little south of the border of probably Illinois. I don't know, not very far south. In Tennessee, we're going to make wet burritos. Similar to enchiladas. Wet burritos are very simple, inexpensive. We're going to start off with browning a pound of hamburger. Today I've got 80/20 ground chuck. It was actually on sale at our local Kroger for I think $3.89 a pound, which is still way too much, but it's what we got. So we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of olive oil in, maybe just a tablespoon. Get our meat in. And we're just going to break this up. You guys know how to brown ground beef, I'm sure. And with the ground beef, we're going to add, it's about a quarter of an onion. My onions were pretty big, so I don't know, maybe a quarter cup. Get the onions in. I'm not going to season this because we're just going to use some packaged taco mix. Now that's got plenty of salt in it, at least for my flavor. And all the spices you're going to need. It's very easy to make your own spice mix. In the future, we're going to do a lot of that. But for right now, this is just a simple, easy, inexpensive way to put a delicious meal on the table for the family. While the hamburger is browning, would be a good time to dice up your tomatoes. This is half a tomato. They're a little costly today. So I used half a tomato and a couple slices off the head of lettuce. $2.39 for a head of lettuce. That, I don't know, got to be a better way. A little high, but we're only using a couple slices off of it. We got the rest of the head for sandwiches later on, salads, anything we need. So we're going to make it work. Another thing we've got some leftover Spanish rice. I made a dish the other night and we didn't quite eat all the rice. Again, this is not homemade. I've got an excellent recipe for homemade rice. This is the package of Knorr that I had in the pantry. So I fixed that the other night, and you know, they're not bad for what they are. $1.20 for a package of rice, and it makes it was actually a bowl and a half, I guess. We ate a lot of it. So we've got all that stuff ready, and we're just going to wait for our meat to brown. And you want to actually brown this meat. You want to get a nice little, almost a char on it. We're not trying to grate it. Okay, hamburger's about done. We're going to kind of break it up into smaller bits. We don't want our burritos to have big chunks of meat in it. It'd be about the same. There's a big guy right there trying to get away from us. Hope everybody's doing well. We are. We're getting ready for thunderstorms tonight here in Tennessee. I hope it's nothing too serious. We've had our share in the past for sure. Normally I would drain the grease off, but there's not a lot of grease in this, and you really take away a lot of flavor. Now you can use chicken, leftover chicken. You can use turkey, ground turkey, sausage, chorizo sausage, anything you want. We're just going with a hamburger. Okay, hamburger's done. We're going today with Old El Paso Taco. These were a buck a package. Not too bad. There's a buy 10, get them for, I don't know. Buy 10, get them for 50 cents or something, I'm not sure. Okay, mix in. This calls for 3/4 of a cup of water. And we're just going to give this a nice little mix. And we're just going to let this reduce down. It only takes a couple minutes. I'm just following the directions on the back of the package. Nothing hard. Okay, that was quick. Our meat is done. We're going to start putting together our burritos. I'm using the 11 by 15 baking dish. Lots of room. Got some pretty big tortillas this time. These are pretty nice. So what you want to start with is tortilla out, lay it flat. We're going to use lots of cheese. Just using a can of nacho cheese. You know, the Velveeta cheese sauce I made the other day for the macaroni would be really good. You can make your own. Melt down some cheese, add a little milk to it, make a cheese sauce. I like the Kroger brand nacho cheese sauce. It's inexpensive and it has a nice little taste to it. And another one we use is the Gordo's cheese dip. This comes in several different flavors. They have mild jalapeno flavor. They have hot. This is the original. There's plenty of spice in the taco seasoning mix for my taste. But this is really good. You just warm that up in the microwave if you were using it. Okay, we're going to start out with a little nacho cheese and just spread it on one side. A little of the white cheese sauce. Spread it on that side. You probably get a little more. You can't have enough cheese. We have our leftover Spanish rice. There we go. Oh, some hamburger. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to load these up. Hell yeah. I think we can do better than that. What do you think? You think we could do better than that? That's pretty good. The next thing we're going to do is a little enchilada sauce. Cheap. I do make my own. That's quite a process. Someday when we want a long video, I'll show you how to make fresh sauce. It's by far better than the can, but this is what we have. Okay, I'm starting off with just put it a little on the bottom, spread it around, kind of like a lasagna. It just kind of helps keep everything from sticking. There you go. That's all we're putting in this go round. We have onions in the mix. We have the seasoning in the taco seasoning in the rice. We have that cheese. We also have some shredded. This is just the Mexican flavored, several different kinds. And don't be afraid to put some cheese in there. Get this out of the way. Now to roll, fold sides up just a little bit. Bring the top over, pull it down, roll it up. Get sealed ends. You're going to put the seam down inside the pan. And just set it right on top of the sauce that we've laid out. Okay, next one. cheese sauce. Oh, if you heat that up, it spreads a little easier. I'm using the same tool because you know what, it's all gonna go together anyway. So, oh, let's go ahead and get that spread up. How nice is that? Some rice. Go back to the hamburger mix. Now I did end up with 2 pounds of hamburger. I did one beforehand just to prevent you from having to watch me brown 2 pounds of hamburger. That way you have plenty of meat. You can stuff these really good. Let's go with some shredded. Again, don't be scared of the cheese. All right. Fold the sides, top over, pull it towards you, and roll it up in our pan. I love the nacho cheese sauce. I love the white cheese. I say a little. It's all relative, right? Let's not get silly. Rice. Some of our hamburger meat. About 2 serving spoons is what I like. Shredded cheese. And there we go. Let's get this rolled up. Sides. Flip the top over. Uh-oh, I got a mess on my hands. That's the best part. There you go. We are all put together. I ended up with 8. I put them in there kind of tight. They don't fall apart while they're in the oven. I've got the oven preheating to 375 degrees. While we're waiting on that, let's take our red sauce and just give it a once over, like you would an enchilada. I guess technically that's what these are. Let's take the leftover cheese that we have, as if there's not enough. Nobody ever said that's enough cheese. If they did, nope. Here's a fact. Never trust a skinny cook. This is going to go in the oven, 375 degrees. What we're trying to do is melt the cheese, but it has to melt inside the burrito too. So we're going to be looking at probably 15 to 20 minutes. We're going to give it a look in a little bit. So just sit tight. We'll be right back. Okay, let's check our oven. I'm pretty sure they're done. Excellent. They are done. Get to where I can work on them here. Okay, let's get one served up. Very, very hot. Should be able to just pull them apart. that. Beautiful. Let's take a look. The cheese on top is very nice. Nice and crispy. There you have it. Wet burritos. Now to finish them off, I sprinkle some lettuce. Some tomato. Yeah, fresh salsa, sour cream, onions, whatever you want. It's up to you. But there it is. My version of a wet burrito. Y'all come get some. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.